I still remember that winter morning. The kind that looks soft from the outside but pierces your bones the moment you step into it. I was 19, naive, hopelessly hopeful, blindly trusting my family. I thought, love is safe. Sisters don't lie. Parents always protect you. I couldn't have been more wrong. The bedroom door was slightly ajar. Kevin's phone was lying on the bed, screen on, notifications popping up one after another. Jen, I missed last night. Wish you stayed longer. At first, I thought it was some other Jen, but when I opened the chat, my heart froze. Jen, I love you. She'll get over it eventually. Kevin, I hate hiding, but she's too sensitive. We'll tell her soon. My vision blurred. Jen, my sister, my role model, my best friend. And Kevin, my first love. They had both fooled me, together. A voice, my own, barely escaped my lips. Why? When I confronted Jen, she was calm. Like breaking my heart was a casual mistake. I'm sorry, but Kevin and I really love each other. Things happen. Don't be dramatic. Dramatic. My mother echoed the same sentiment. Family forgives. You're young. Move on. My father said simply, stop embarrassing yourself. Don't make a scene. That's when I realized, in my own home, my pain didn't matter. Their perfect family image mattered more. Scene 3. The collapse. I started to fall apart. Food tasted bland. Sleep felt like a trap. The reason to wake up disappeared. Every morning, one question. Why me? Every night, one answer. Because you're not worth protecting. Jen and Kevin started dating openly. My parents were supporting them. And me? I was invisible. One night, unable to bear it anymore, I opened my laptop and wrote, if I mattered to anyone, they wouldn't have done this. Then came the pills. Darkness. I woke up to bright white lights, chemical smells, beeping monitors. No family beside me, just one person crying over me. Alice, my roommate, the one who refused to let me die. She saved you, the nurse said, and your parents, they never came. Those words hit differently. This time, they didn't just hurt, they ignited something inside. Alice's girlfriend shared my suicide note online, and suddenly, the world knew. Jen became the target. Kevin's lies were exposed. My parents' favoritism shattered publicly. My grandparents, the only people who truly cared, confronted my parents. You're dead to us. And for the first time in my life, I realized maybe I deserve to live. Silence. Not the soft silence of a winter night, but the heavy, suffocating silence that follows a storm. Everything I had trusted had shattered, and yet the world continued as if nothing had happened. I was sitting in my grandparents' guest room, staring at the sunlight spilling through the curtains. It was warm, gentle, tauntingly calm. How can the world be so soft when my life feels like broken glass? Therapy was routine. Medication was steady. But the most powerful therapy was distance. Distance from my parents, my sister, and Kevin. Distance from the version of me that had blindly trusted them. Scene 1. Conversations that never happened. One night, I was quietly drinking tea at the dining table. My grandmother joined me, her presence calm, but heavy with authority. "Sweetheart," she said softly, "the people who hurt you the most, what business do they have in your life now?" I whispered, "But they're my parents." She leaned closer, her voice firm. "Being a parent is not a license, it's a responsibility. Your mother threw that responsibility away, and your father, he didn't even try to catch you." Her words stung like a whip, but somewhere deep inside, they also gave me strength. For the first time, I realized I was. Social media had exploded with my suicide note. It was everywhere. Two names were trending relentlessly: Jen the sister, Kevin the liar. The backlash was brutal. People called Jen a homewrecker. My parents were labeled monsters. Kevin's religious image crumbled. Jen tried to reach out. "Can we please talk? I'm sorry." I laughed, cold, hollow, and quiet. "Oh, now you're sorry? When the world turned against you? When your reputation was in ruins?" My mom messaged, "The note is exaggerated. Stop humiliating us." My dad said, "You're tearing the family apart." Their focus was never on me. It was always about themselves. I replied, "You let me break. You chose your image over your daughter. You're dead to me." Jen's life began to crumble. Her friends abandoned her. Rumors followed her everywhere. Even strangers recognized her as the sister from the suicide story. Yet I felt no guilt, only a strange sense of calm. One night, I stood in front of the mirror, asking the reflection staring back at me, "Why doesn't this hurt me?" The mirror gave no answer, but my eyes reflected the truth. I wasn't cruel. I was finally free. Kevin's perfect Christian boy image shattered. His family exiled him to a religious camp to cleanse his soul and force repentance. I never confirmed it myself, but it felt like justice. Finally, reality catching up with deception. Amid the chaos, there was one constant: Alice. One evening, we sat on the balcony together, cold breeze brushing against our skin, city lights sparkling below. "Why did you save me?" I asked softly. She exhaled slowly, lighting a cigarette. "Because you deserved someone who actually checked on you, and that someone wasn't them." I almost cried. She looked at me, calm but fierce. "You'll be strong one day, stronger than anyone who ever hurt you. You survived. That's your victory." At the time, I thought she was overconfident. Now I know she was right. Years passed, 10 to be exact. The wounds didn't disappear. They didn't even fade completely. But they stopped bleeding. And somehow, I learned to live with the scars. I was no longer the broken, desperate girl lying in a hospital bed. I was standing on my own 2 feet, carrying every ounce of pain they had given me, and turning it into strength. I moved forward slowly, carefully, letting trust in the wrong people die, while letting love from the right people grow. My grandparents were my anchors. They celebrated every achievement with me. My graduation, my first job, my engagement, every milestone I reached without them. They had saved me when no one else would. And they taught me something priceless: that family isn't always the people who share your blood. Sometimes family is the people who actually care. I built my life around that lesson. Therapy, friendships, my career, my eventual marriage. Everything was mine, earned with my own heart, but sometimes they still haunted me. Every time I received a stiff holiday card from my parents, every time Jen's name came up, every time someone mentioned Kevin, a flicker of old anger resurfaced. Not bitterness toward my grandparents or Alice, but a cold, quiet satisfaction toward those who had betrayed me. They had lost so much. Their reputation, their social circles, their peace, all because they chose themselves over me. I'll admit it, and I'll whisper it to no one but myself. A small, dark part of me enjoyed that. It wasn't pride. It wasn't revenge. It was acknowledgement. They broke me. I survived. They didn't. One afternoon, while walking in the park with my husband, I saw a woman struggling with 2 toddlers. I smiled politely, and in that moment, I realized I had forgiven them. Not because they deserved it, but because I deserved peace. I didn't call my parents. I didn't reach out to Jen. I didn't even think about Kevin. The past was theirs. The future was mine. I had built a life full of love, laughter, and honesty. A life where my child would grow up knowing that respect, trust, and care mattered more than appearances. A life where my mistakes, or my family's betrayals, wouldn't define me. Sitting by the window that night, I whispered to myself, those who hurt you don't always get what they deserve. But sometimes life has a way of balancing itself. I lost so much, but I gained even more. I survived. I loved. I chose me. And that is victory. I don't regret anything. I don't regret walking away from toxic family. I don't regret exposing the truth. I don't regret choosing my life over their expectations. Because in the end, the only approval I needed was my own. And for the first time, I had it. I was free. I was alive. And that is how I survived. How I stood up, even when the people I loved the most betrayed me. How I turned heartbreak, lies, and betrayal into my own strength. Life didn't give me a perfect family, and it didn't give me a perfect love, but it gave me myself. And sometimes that's all we really need. If there's one thing I want you to take from my story, it's this. Never let anyone dim your light. Never let anyone make you feel invisible. And never be afraid to walk away from people who don't value you. I know the story was intense. It was full of emotions, secrets, and painful truths. But there are countless more stories like this. Real people, real betrayals, real lessons waiting to be shared. If you want to hear more true stories, emotional family dramas, shocking betrayals, and stories that will leave you thinking, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Join me and let's explore the raw, unfiltered truths of life, stories that will make you laugh, cry, and maybe even feel a little less alone. And remember, every story has a lesson. Every betrayal has a reason. And every ending is just the beginning of a new chapter. Subscribe now for more stories like this, because the next one